How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Club. Gabe, your host here. We have a very special guest with us today, so grab your pen and paper and prepare for some wisdom bombs coming your way. Before we get started, I do want to say that this is a free course, and we do really enjoy doing this. So the easiest way for you to support us, if you like this show, is to subscribe, like, and share with your friends and family. That's the easiest way, and we really appreciate it. Secondly, we're an active investing company. We market nationally for properties. So if you want to join our buyers list, become a partner in a program, or if you want to bring us a deal for a single family, multifamily, or mobile home and RV parks, go to www.therealestateinvestingclub.com to get in contact with one of our partners. Finally, we developed a course for everybody wanting to get involved in single family, multifamily, and mobile home and RV parks. So if you want to do that, if you want to learn how to invest in those asset classes, go to www.therealestateinvestingclub.com and check out our course there. That's all I have to say for now. So I hope you guys enjoy the show, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the other side.
All right. We are live. Today we have a very special guest with us, Sandy Levin, a certified home stager from the New York area. Sandy, thank you very much for jumping on the show today. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. Thank you, Russ.
I love it. No worries. To get us started, why don't you tell everybody, who you are, where you're from, and how you got started in real estate in the first place?
Sure. My name is Sandy Levin. I'm a home stager in New York, in New Jersey. I also stage in Pennsylvania and New York. So we started, I have an interior design firm, started in 2001. And I was doing primarily interior design. And then in about the 2014, I started reading, even before that, about real estate staging. I'm very interested in real estate, and it just really intrigued me. So I decided to pivot my company and focus mainly on home staging. I really enjoy helping people sell their homes quickly and for top dollar.
I love it. And yeah, so it sounds like you got started as an interior designer, which
Right.
is obviously a great way to start if you're going to the interior and staging. And in 2014, you made the switch over to become a real estate, focus your business on real estate, being a stager.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm really glad you're here because the reason that I really wanted to have you on is I know the value of staging a home. I've flipped homes, and one that pops into mind. We were trying to sell the home, on market, and there was nothing in it. I hadn't staged it at all. I had somebody come over and stage it because it was just sitting on the market. The next day, no joke, somebody put in an offer and it closed. So.
Right.
I understand the value of staging. Hopefully a lot of investors out there will, but the reason we have you here is because we want to hear some of that wisdom that you can give us about the value of staging. So why don't we jump into that aspect of it? This is the business you run right now. So the people that listen to this podcast are real estate investors. Kind of tell us what is the key aspects of staging that people need to consider when they're preparing their homes to be sold after they flip it?
Sure. So studies show that 95% of people cannot visualize what a vacant house looks like furnished. So when they are online, seeing your listing, on Zillow or whatever, wherever they're looking, then they see an empty home. It looks like a warehouse to them. It's not appealing. So they're just going to click right through your listing and go to the next listing. And the same goes if they walk into your home and it's vacant. There's just no appeal. People buy on emotion, especially women. And there's no way you can emotionally attach to walls or to moldings. It's the vision of, living in the home. Having family dinners at the dining room table, spending Christmas in your home, serving breakfast to your kids, where are they going to do their homework at night? We show them how they can do that in your home. And it's just like, it's merchandising your home. That's really what staging is. So every store out there from, Walmart all the way up to, Saks, Fifth Avenue, they all merchandise their stores, right? They set it up exactly the way they want it to be. So when you walk in, it's like you see you see beautiful things, and that makes you want to buy what you see. And that's what staging a home is. You walk in, when we stage a home, you walk in, it's like, wow, this house is only, $400,000. I could buy this house, or, whatever the price of the house is. So we make the house look more expensive than it really is. So it makes buyers feel good about buying the house. And again, they can imagine themselves living in the home.
I love it. I love it. And so you shot out a statistic there. You said 95% of people can't visualize their home being furnished. That's really interesting. So that's an actual statistic that they.
Yes, it is. Yes. Study.
Wow. So I had to close the door there. So yeah, that's really interesting, and it makes sense because when going back to that one house that I flipped earlier in my career, it really did change once people, looking back on it now, once I altered the images that I put on Zillow, that really was the turning point. So it sounds like from what you're saying, it's not only the walkthrough, but it's also it's the images themselves, seeing it furnished, that people really react to.
Exactly. Again, they can imagine when they see the furniture, the art, and it's just not about furniture. It's just not throwing furniture into a room, which some people think it is. Oh, I could just go out and buy furniture, throw it into the room, and I'm going to be staged. No, it's not about that at all. It's about the feel of the entire room. It's about art, accessories, pillows, everything, making that large, grand look. We always say, why did, the national builders, Toll Brothers, Hovnanian, they all spend, millions of dollars, millions each year staging their models. And so obviously many, many other builders. And why is that? Because when people walk in, they want to buy the house instantaneously. It's like, wow, I want to buy this. I want to buy everything in the house. I want to live in this house. So that's why, all these builders are spending literally, I was told that Toll Brothers actually came to me, wanted to hire me to stage their models. And I turned them down. I wanted to, stay in my own company, but they told me they have unlimited budgets. And there's a reason for that, because it sells houses quickly and for top dollar, and they get a huge return. And so does everyone else that stages. We have the same thing that you were saying. You have many, many times a house, would not have had not sold, and we were called in and we staged it, and the next day it was sold. I have that all the time.
I love it. So, do you have any? I mean, this is kind of putting you on the spot here, but do you have any statistics as to houses put on the market, or houses that are sold with staging and without, like how much they go, how much more they go?
Yes. So these are national statistics, is that a house sells for 8 to 10% higher sales price when it's staged, and 50 to 70% quicker. And those are yep.
50 to 70% quicker. That's actually, that's huge.
Yes, huge. And the money too. And, people are going to offer more, because again, they feel they're getting more value. They feel they're getting this, higher, appealing home. So they're willing to spend more. And people today do not want to, they want to move into a move-in ready house, right? They they have no time. They have no interest. They don't have the money. They're busy with their jobs, their kids. They don't want to fix up their house. They want a move-in ready house. That's why it's so great with, investors today. They're in there, they're making this move-in ready house. So we make it even more move-in ready, where we, stage it so they know exactly where to place the furniture. They know how they're going to live in the home, and it makes it more appealing. It looks like, like I said, a model home after we stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And the kind of key that my brain is jumping on in what you're saying here is move in ready.
Right.
And I think that's absolutely true. It's like I've watched people walk through houses, and especially when they're empty houses, the ones that when I was my first flips, I didn't stage them at all. It was just walls.
Right.
And people would go in, and I even remember them saying things like, "Oh, it's very empty in here. That it's very empty." But obviously, it's empty. It's a flip. You're going to put your own stuff in here. But still, they need to be able to visualize it. They need to be able to see it themselves, and they can't do it unless it has been staged.
Exactly. Also, when you stage a room, as it makes the room look larger. When the room has nothing in it, it looks very, very small. I mean, and we've had actually tiny bedrooms.
Really small, huh?
Yeah, no, it does. If you don't have anything in the room, it makes it look smaller. And we've also had like small bedrooms, which people have said before we staged, of course. People have said, I can't buy this house. It's not a 4-bedroom house. There's no way this room could be used as a bedroom. It will not fit, a twin size bed and a dresser. So then we're called in to stage the house, and then we stage that room to show them that yes, it can fit a single bed and it can fit a dresser, and then it truly is a 4-bedroom house. Again, making it worth more and making it sell for more money.
Huh, interesting. It's counterintuitive to think that when you fill something, it can appear more spacious.
Right. Well, we do, as an interior designer, I know what size and proportion furniture and accessories to use in a home. It really makes a difference too. We usually put in like larger, many times larger pieces. And when people see larger pieces, it makes it look like a larger room. I mean, people just in their head psychologically think that it's a large room. So it works time and time again.
That's really interesting. So for the investors that are listening to this, and they're kind of, one of the hard parts about flips is getting the budget right. And so you gotta put staging in. If you're gonna do it, you gotta plan for it beforehand.
Right.
So if an investor were to start planning for staging, at the end of their flip, what is I know this is changes depending upon the area that you're in, but generally, what can an investor expect in terms of
Cost?
Yeah, cost.
Right. So every part of the country is different, obviously. As I'm sure land costs. Everything is different. I mean, you can say, I guess, average across the country. And again, I don't know statistics for the whole country. I don't know the prices. I know our area in New Jersey. So I'm just saying, but I've heard other people talk about prices. So anyway, so the mid, like for a small house, for a in Jersey, in this area, it's like a $300,000 house. So we start out with starter houses here in this area. It's like 300,000. You can't really get much less, maybe 250. I know other areas it might be 125. But anyway, so here in this area, it's like it starts at like about $3,000 for 2 months. For 3 rooms, which is, or I really say 3.5 rooms. It would be, we always suggest staging the first floor, which is obviously the living room, which, could sometimes be a family room, the living room, the dining. You always want the dining room stage, the dining area. You want the kitchen, and you want the master bedroom. So those are the most important rooms in a house that sell the house. So that's what we stage. Now in other areas, I've heard them, those prices being $2,000. Again, I don't know the prices for this,
Gotcha.
For the country.
So, I mean, just, this is obviously very rough, but it sounds like about 1% of the purchase price.
Yes, you can. Yes, that's what they say. Yep. You can generally figure that the staging is going to be approximately 1%. When you go up in, housing costs, again, in New Jersey, we have so many more other areas, $1 million houses and $2 million houses. The percentage goes down, but you can generally figure in that first from 200,000 to, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 houses, it's going to be about 1%.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a good rule of thumb to work with
Average.
there. So the next question I was going to ask is what should you be staging if somebody wanted to do it themselves, what should they be staging? It sounds like you just touched on it. The living room, the master room, the dining room, and the kitchen. You didn't mention the bathroom, so it sounds like that's not.
Well, we do. Okay, so the bathrooms, we always do complimentary, so I always forget to mention that. We do stage the bathrooms also.
Gotcha. Okay. So
go ahead.
in terms of importance, it sounds like the living room and the dining and kitchen, and those are the primary rooms.
Correct. And we always say, and the master bedroom, because the person that's paying the mortgage for that house is going to be living in that master bedroom. So you better have that as luxurious as possible if you want a high price on your house. And we don't suggest, we don't suggest staging yourself, because you will never look professional. It will never look, you'll not get, maybe you'll save a couple $100 by doing it yourself, but you're not going to sell it at the highest price. So it's not worth it. There's a reason why we home stagers are crazy busy, very busy, because, we have value. We bring in, you get the highest price. You will never get that. Again, I mentioned before, just going and buying furniture. What are you going to do with that furniture after the house sells? And it's just not about throwing in a sofa. I've seen investors not wanting to spend the money, and they'll go and they'll bring in their old sofa from their house. They'll bring in their old kitchen set. I've seen
got duct tape on it.
Terrible. The realtors are furious at them, and the house sits and sits and sits because it looks like an old house. And the whole idea with staging, when we stage, we bring in brand new. Everything is either brand new or like new furniture and accessories. So it looks like what these potential home buyers are, seeing in the magazine, seeing online. They're very excited. They save this money. They're putting all their money into their homes, their first home, and they're excited. Oh, I'm going to get this and I'm going to get that, and their friends are buying homes, and they're buying the same type of thing, and so they want the most updated thing. That's what appeals to them. It appeals to all of us. Why would you want an old something? Or why would you just want any kind of sofa? I want it to look warm, luxurious, comfortable. And that's what we do, again, with accessories, with artwork. We bring in, very large pieces of art, with pictures, with accessories all over. Everything we place in a room, we place for a reason. Whether it's highlighting the architecture, highlighting, like windows or molding, or showing that this is the way to the kitchen. Like, there's a reason for every single, and obviously people that don't have the expertise and the certifications do not know how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, that was kind of, I was just setting it up for you there. And I want to echo everything that you just said. For anybody who's brand new looking to do this, stagers, it does seem, well, when I first got in, it seemed like an unnecessary expense, but it's not. It's surprisingly, the value they bring is beyond what first impressions would entail. For one, you don't have to buy all of the things. You don't have all the artwork that the stagers have. You don't have the nice furniture, and you don't really want to buy it. It's going to cost just as much to buy all that stuff than it is to hire a stager. And you mentioned flow earlier, the flow of the room.
Right.
That's something like, I tried to do this myself when I first got in, and I do not have the eye. It's things just kind of look jumbled together, and it was not, people are running into furniture. It's not the good flow that you're looking for. So
exactly, and that's what that you want, that professional look. There's a huge difference between professional, even like interior design room, and somebody doing it themselves. You could tell in a second. Yep. And that's the same thing with staging. Professional stager, it's going to make your room look entirely different. Set it up properly, set up the flow. Again, set up, the artwork, the, fake faux trees, pillows in a certain way, accessories on the coffee table to make it appealing to the potential home buyer.
Awesome. I love it. So Sandy, we try to keep this around 20 minutes, and we're nearing the end of our session here. But before we head out, I always ask the guests the same questions. So I'm gonna shift the show just a little bit. And I'm gonna ask a little bit about your experiences in the industry. We all know real estate is a roller coaster. It goes up, it goes down, both emotionally and financially. So every investor, everybody in the industry, they all have really good stories that I love to hear. So kind of take us to either to just one of the craziest things, or one of the most challenging things that you've run into in your time in the industry, and kind of tell us, what was the lesson that you learned after that?
The lesson, okay, so a crazy story. I have a story. We staged a $25 million house. It was right on the Atlantic Ocean. It was owned by a billionaire that he's pretty well known. It was just an amazing experience after every house, but especially after this house, we didn't want to leave the house, right? You feel like it's your house. I designed the whole house, for staging. And, this is like at all houses and you feel like it's your house. You don't want to leave the house. But anyway, so this house, it was for staging just for the summer. We also staged for summer rentals. We staged for the summer. This homeowner only lived in the house for 6 weekends out of the whole year.
Oh, geez.
It was
$25 million.
It was unbelievable. So we had to have it done by, I think it was by Memorial Day, and everything literally had to be done by a certain day that the homeowner was coming to the first time to this house to live in the house. And it was just a crazy experience. Everybody was running around. There were the painters finishing up and people were finishing up the wood floors. And then you have the housekeepers all over cleaning everything. I had to wait my staging, I had, huge amount of patio furniture to put in the backyard. We do outdoor also. And, it just was a long story, but the patio furniture that I had wanted to bring was originally had been brought to the Hamptons, out in Long Island, the farthest part in Long Island for a photo shoot for an ad. And we had to have it back in, it was, like I said, on the ocean. It was actually in Deal, New Jersey. And, they hit traffic. It was Memorial Day weekend and they had to come by truck back to Jersey. And I, being the owner and, being the owner of the company, I'm always responsible for everything. You have to be very detail oriented. And I literally had to wait for that truck to come back from the Hamptons. It didn't get back there till 10 o'clock at night. I was standing there. I was the only one in this incredibly massive house waiting for the truck to come with the patio furniture. It was all black out. There was no lights. I was scared out of my mind. Even the builder had left for the day. Oh, I'm done. I'm leaving. I was in charge of this whole house. And anyway, finally the patio furniture did come on a big truck and we unloaded it literally at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh man.
And it looked gorgeous. Even I could barely say it. There were no lights on. I didn't know how to turn the outdoor lights on. No one showed me how. I didn't think I'd be there so late. But the point is that, again, I'm very detail oriented. Stagers have to be very detailed. You have to be into everything. You have to know exactly what's going on. And the stager is responsible for for everything about that staging. So I was responsible. I had to wait there until the staging was completed, which was 10:30 at night. I'm listening to the waves roll in. That's the only thing I could hear was the ocean and the waves rolling. I'm standing outside waiting for hours until this truck came.
That's a good story. It sounds like it would be kind of creepy just standing in some giant mansion all alone until 10 at night.
Yes, scary. Yes, and
It's funny.
Inside, I was outside. Yep.
So it sounds like the lesson there is just stick to the plan. If
Exactly.
it doesn't go as planned, you just you improvise and you wait in a completely empty castle.
Right. You just have to do what as a stager, we do what we have to do to make that house look perfect.
Awesome.
To that home buyer.
So that kind of leads me on to the next question. We all are responsible for our own success, and you've had a lot of success in your life. So kind of tell us what is the habit or the thing that you do that you feel contributes the most to your success?
I'm very hardworking and I don't give up. Okay. You just can't give up. If you don't hear, you give estimates to, whether it's investors or homeowners or realtors, and you don't hear from them back, I call up, I follow up, and, I get that answer, whether it's a yes or whether it's a no. If it happens to be a no, for some reason, many times they don't want to spend the money. I follow up with them because you know what, a month down the line when that house is not sold, they end up calling me or I call them and they end up staging it. So the big thing is, again, hardworking and follow up.
I love it. And many people have echoed follow up. I love that you, nobody said, I need a yes or a no. But I 100% agree with it. You have to follow up. It doesn't matter what the answer is, but you just need an answer. You just got to keep doing it.
Exactly.
Ghosting is not an option. People are not
Right.
allowed to not say yes or no. They have to
Right.
give you an answer.
Yep.
I love that you said that. Awesome. So we are at the end here, Sandy. Again, thank you for coming on. You've given us so much wisdom when it comes to staging houses today, but everybody needs to receive as well. So if somebody listening or watching wanted to bring you something, what would you want to receive?
What do I want to receive? A lot of investors who want to stage their houses.
Awesome. I love it. And if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, what would be the best way to do that?
Sure. So I have a website. You can check out the projects on my website. It's www.stagingnj.com. So it's STAGING, NJ.com. You can also phone me. My office number is 732-303-6383. Again, 732-303-6383. Or the best thing is to email me at sandy@beautifulinteriorsdg.com. So it's Beautiful Interiors DG, stands for Design Group.com. And it's Sandy, SANDY.
Awesome. Well, there you go. You guys heard it. If you want to get in contact with Sandy, go to stagingnj, like New Jersey.com. Or you can phone her or email her at the contact that she just said. Also, I will be putting her LinkedIn message or her LinkedIn profile in the show notes. So if you want to go and get in contact with her, you can click through there. Again, Sandy, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciated talking with you today. For everybody listening and watching, thank you guys for joining us. Again, hit that share, hit the like, share it with your friends and family. That's the best way to support the show. So we look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode.
So long.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate Investing Club. If you've watched this far, I'm sure you've gotten a little bit of value out of this. So we would appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up, share it with your friends or family, whatever it may be. And if you'd like to share or partner with us on a deal, we absolutely love partnering on deals and are always looking for quality projects. Go to www.therealestateinvestingclub.com to get in contact with one of our partners. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.